top quality start to taking the bumper off. Just try cutting the end of my pissing thumb off. Welcome back to the channel. Today I've decided the sun's out, I've got back from work slightly early, and I'm going to start taking all the bits off the car. I'm going to take the front bumper off tonight. I'm going to try and get the exhaust off because it's got a slight hole in it, so that needs welding up. I'm going to get some tips put on it, and then we're going to start taking injectors, turbo, all that kind of stuff off, and get ready for the upgrade of the turbo and get it ready to get booked in for a map. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks, whatever it is, I'll be able to get a space for mapping, because I've no idea when there's any space available, but I'm hoping to get all the parts on because it's bank holiday weekend. Hopefully we'll get it all done this weekend, so there should be a few videos coming on taking bits off and putting new bits on. Right, quick little update. My thumb now hurts, and you can see intercooler pipe off. I know I don't have to take it off, but I want to test all the joints are still really tight, because obviously we're going to run him on boost, so I don't want anything coming loose on the dyno, so we're going to retighten everything up. I'm going to leave that side one on because I can easily get to that. We've took all the intercooler pipes off. You'll have seen it in the time lapse. I've took the little catch can, oil catch can, the water catch cans, gone. I'm going to take the belt off next because I've got a lightweight crank pulley to go on, and also heat shield for the turbo. That needs to come off because obviously the turbo's coming off. And then my next thing is to unbolt the downpipe, take the exhaust off, because I need to take the exhaust somewhere to get it fixed this weekend, so we'll carry on. Quick update. The bolts are tight as fuck on the turbo. That's my ratchet. Fantastic. The rest of it's on the back of the bolt. I've got all bar one loose. On the top, there's 2 at the bottom, and then I'll drop the downpipe off. And then the exhaust can come off, and we'll see how far along we get tonight, but that might be where we leave it for tonight. Right, finally got them out, which are, you can see on here, you can see the holes. There's 2 at the top, and then there's 2 on the sides down the back. So I've got the 4 from the top. I think there's 2 below, if I can remember. So obviously that's the end of the time lapse. I'm gonna now lie under the ground, under the car on the ground, and take this downpipe off. Current situation is a very uncomfortable one. I'm underneath the car, as you can see. I don't know if you can see up there. If that's picked it up, I've got all the bolts off turbo, but you can see how rusty the bolts are on the exhaust. I've got the bracket holder off as well, which is just there. So basically what I'm going to try and do is just take all the hangers off the exhaust, and I'm just going to drop it out in one and drag it out, because I'm not going to be able to unbolt the downpipe separately because all the bolts are quite rusty on the exhaust and they're all going to want replacing, and new gaskets and everything. So that's one of my tasks, so we'll see if I can get it off. Right, I've finally removed these bolts. One's still in. So rusty. How I got them off without rounding them, I do not know. You can see how rusty they are. They're nearly rounded. But the downpipe is officially out. Oh my. Awkward. There we go. It's out. So now it's just, I think my exhaust is blowing from that joint there, so I need to get the whole exhaust off and take it out and we'll have a look at it. So I'll try and undo the hangers on the back. Right, I've got one rubber left to do. He's in the worst place. I've done all the back ones, so this is about to land on me. But these are coming out. I've got plenty more spares in the garage, so I can just put a new one on, but you can physically, that's as high as the exhaust will lift to try and get that out, where it's going to be way easier to put it on the hook and then put it on the top when I put it back on. So rather than spending half my life trying to get it off, I'm just going to cut it. The exhaust is finally done, well, off the car. One thing I have just noticed, which I've never noticed before, is this section and this, yeah, isn't 3-inch. You can see the rest of it. The rest of it is all 3-inch. And this isn't. So probably gonna look at if it's possible to change the rest of it to 3-inch as well, with obviously the lambda sensor and the bracket, and just get rid of this centre joint, and then it can't blow again. So I'm probably going to do that. Currently been going about 2 hours at the minute. We've got downpipe off, full exhaust off, intercooler off, all the pipes, catch cans off, some breather pipes are off. So we've done quite well. I'm going to have a look now at potentially taking the heat shield off the manifold, because you can't get to the manifold bolts without taking the heat shield off, and they are completely rotten through the heat shield bolts, so it might end up being an absolute mission to get them off, but we'll have a go. Well, that wraps up day number 1 of all the turbo upgrade and stuff on the car. I did start on the manifold in the end. It didn't exactly go to plan. All the bolts on the heat shield were rusty. Took forever to get off. I got the heat shield off, and then there's 6 bolts to hold the manifold on. 5 of them came loose, 1 of them rounded off. So I'm having to wait for some nut removal tools that'll screw on, and hopefully that gets the bolt off. Otherwise, we're going to be in a bit of trouble. So I'm going to smash through these videos at the minute and get as many of these mods done as we can, so make sure you check out the next one. We'll be hopefully doing some bits with the manifold, getting the old one off, putting the new one on, so see you then, peace.